Good morning, fabulous fourth grade. Today is May 4th, 2020, and it is a marvelous Monday. All right, so we're going to continue with online learning in our virtual classroom. I'm going to share the screen. All right, again, good morning, fabulous fourth grade. Today, we are going to learn about the universe, more specifically, Earth. So, our lovely planet Earth is the third planet from the sun and is the only astronomical object known to harbor life. That means it is the only body in outer space to have living organisms on it. So, and we learned last week that living organisms can be plants or animals. And in this case, Earth has both. All right, our learning goal, repeat after me. I can explain how the orbit of the Earth and Sun cause observable patterns, for example, day and night. I can explain how the orbit of the Earth and Sun cause observable patterns, day and night. So the Earth orbits the Sun as it tilts on its axis. The Earth is tilted at a 23.5-degree angle. Because of Earth's tilt and orbital pattern, we have different phenomena like day, night, and seasons. But why do we have day and night? That is our essential question, and we're going to investigate that in Google Classroom. All right, so when you get to Google Classroom, you will be immediately taken to your class. From there, let's click Michigan State. From there, you will click the classwork tab, look for this week's topic, the universe, and today's date. The same thing is also in Chicago, classwork tab, universe, today's topic, and today's date. And then also in Notre Dame, classwork tab, the universe is our topic and today's date. And we're going to view the assignment. Make sure you're on the instructions. Study the fab vocab. All right, so we have a new set of vocabulary. It's called Earth's place in the universe. Our first word is planet. Whoops. All right, so a planet is a large body in space that orbits a star and does not produce light of its own. Our planet is Earth. And these are just some of the planets in outer space, the gas giants. All right. Our next term is tilt. Remember, we said that Earth was tilted at a 23.5-degree angle. So tilt is to cause to lean, incline, slope, or slant. And then this is Earth at its tilt. And this is perpendicular to Earth. But then that's the 23.5-degree angle that Earth is tilted at. Axis. Axis is an imaginary line that passes through Earth's center and at the north and south poles about which Earth rotates. And then you can see the axis, the image is not exact. You can see the axis from the North Pole and the South Pole. And then, of course, the sun. And Earth is tilted towards the sun in that image. Orbit, the path of an object as it revolves around another object in space. We revolve around the sun. Star, a ball of hot gas, primarily hydrogen and helium, that undergoes nuclear fusion. And these are just stars. Earth star is the sun. Rotate, To spin on an axis, it takes 24 hours for it to rotate once, which is a day, responsible for day and night. And so then this is Earth, and Earth rotates on its axis, and it takes a full 24 hours for it to rotate. Our next term is revolve, to go around something in a circle, to turn in a circle. So here you have Earth revolving around the sun. Hemisphere. Hemisphere is half of something. In this case, it's half of the Earth. Earth is cut into a northern and southern hemisphere, and also a western and eastern hemisphere. And then when you put these together in one, like if you put this on one plane, so you have the northern and the southern, the eastern and the western, you'd have four quadrants. Direct light. Light coming in, not at an angle, and it delivers the most heat. So when the sun is shining down on something, and not at an angle, but like down on it, then it's direct sunlight. Indirect sunlight, light coming in at an angle, not as hot. So when the sun is reflecting on another object, or the sunlight is coming in at an angle, it's indirect light. The equator. It is an imaginary line around the middle of the Earth, halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. So this is the equator, and this is the North Pole and the South Pole. The equinox. So an equinox is the 2 days of the year on which neither hemisphere is tilted toward or away from the sun. So the equinox is when the sun is forward this way, and remember, it's the tilt. Oh, you'll learn about that. It's the tilt, not the distance, that causes the seasons. And we have the solstice, or we'll talk about that too. I don't want to give it off yet. So the equinox is when the Earth is directly up, and the North Pole nor the South Pole are tilted towards the sun. So I think we have a summer equinox, and we have a winter equinox. I think that is correct. And I think we have a autumn solstice and a spring solstice, I think. We'll see. Oops. And then there are the solstices. It is the time when the sun is furthest from the equator. And these are our solstices. All right. And what will happen is the solstices will be the sun is on this side, or the sun is shining on that side, and the Earth makes a full revolution on the opposite side. So it'll be 6 months later. Like every 6 months we have an equinox, and then 6 months later we have a solstice, and then 6 months later we have an equinox, and then 6 months later we have a solstice. And whenever we're having a solstice, the people that are on the other side of the Earth are having an equinox. And when we're having our equinox, the people on the other side of the Earth are having their solstice. So like, I believe China would be having a solstice when we have an equinox, and we would have a equinox when they're having their solstice. Yeah, something like that. It's opposite. All right, let's go to the next one. Excuse me, seasons. Earth has seasons because its axis is tilted as it moves around the sun. And then these are the 4 seasons. We all know those. Remember, it's the tilt, not the distance. Some people say that it's summertime because we're closer to the sun. Nah, it's the tilt, not the distance. All right. Satellite. So a satellite is an object that revolves around another object in space. Our satellite, we only have one satellite that is actually revolving around us, and that is our moon. Our satellite is the moon. The moon. Right? And then the phases of the moon, let's read the definition. It is the progression of changes in the moon's appearance during the month. And so we have the new moon, which you cannot see as well because the sunlight is shining on the opposite side of the moon. But you can see the moon. It is not as bright though. And as we continue to rotate and revolve simultaneously, you start to see more of the sun's light reflecting off of the moon. And then you have the waning, well, the waxing crescent first, and then the first quarter moon, and then you have the waxing gibbous, and then you have more light is being reflected. And so now when the moon is actually facing the sun and we're facing the moon, we have a full moon. And then as we continue to rotate and revolve, the moon, I think the moon takes 28 days as well as we take about 28 days. We do a full revolution, rotation, and they do a rotation. The moon does a rotation as well. And so we pretty much see the same side of the moon at all times because we're always rotating with the moon. And then after the full moon, of course, the waning gives us the third quarter moon. And now we're starting to see less of the moon because the portion of the moon that is facing the sun is away from us. And then now that lit up part of the moon is, waning off. And so now we're back at a new moon. So these are the phases of the moon. And we'll discuss them more in depth towards the end of the week. So after you do your Fab Vocab, I want you to play the match game at least 2 times. And I'm not going to play the match game today, but I want you to go over the Fab Vocab at least 2 times. And then I want you to do the match game at least 2 times. And then from there, go back into Google Classroom and then watch the YouTube video. The YouTube video is only a couple minutes long. I'm not going to play it because I've learned that the video is loud and it screeches, and so you can watch it. I just wanted you to make sure that you saw that it does work. And so once you finish watching the YouTube video, then I want you to come in and answer your thinking question. Again, it goes back to our big essential question: why do we have day and night? So when you watch the video, keep that question in mind. Why do we have day and night? Watch the video and then answer the thinking question, which is our big question. Once you're finished with that, then I want you to go to the ReadWorks. And the ReadWorks is, you'll already be logged in. If not, sign in with your Google account. And it is Our Place in Space. Read it. It's a short passage. And then you have your question set. It does say 5th grade, but it's only 286 words. Right? And so then you'll have your question set, and with your question set, answer your questions. And then this one is a written answer, 5 questions. Fill that in, and then once you finish your question set, then press the submit button. Remember, you get 10 points for reading and answering a question. You get 10 points for answering your thinking question and watching the YouTube video. You get 5 points for Quizlet. And then the last thing that you have to do is Legends of Learning, and you get 5 points for Legends of Learning. So that's a possible 30 points for completing your science instruction. It's not hard. You got this because you're rock stars and you're awesome. So again, the Fab Vocab. After the Fab Vocab, you want to watch the YouTube video. After the YouTube video, you want to do the thinking questions. After the thinking questions, you want to do ReadWorks. And remember, if you're not logged into your Google account, sign in and then complete the ReadWorks. After the ReadWorks, you want to play the Legends of Learning. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message Ms. Davis. I am available to you from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You can send me a message on Dojo. You can send me a message in Google Classroom. And you can also send me a message through email, tdavis@promiseacademy.com. Make sure that you're completing your Compass Learning, and also make sure you do your Zern. And if you have extra time, you can go back in and do Quizlet, and you can do the Legends of Learning. All right, so that is it for today. I love you guys so much. I miss you. Please message me. We'll see about getting a Zoom together so that we all can just talk to each other, and we could just kind of catch up. So leave me emails or comments. Xavier wants to do a Zoom, and Xavier, I agree, I want to do one as well. So we'll just wait and see who all wants to do the Zoom meeting, and we'll take it from there. All right. Love you guys. Bye.